Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. Now, let's go, baby. Hello, everyone, and welcome back as I continue on the new Disney Plus series by Star Wars: The Acolyte. This is episode 4 review. This is a spoiler review, so if you have not seen any of the episodes yet, pause this, give me a thumbs up, because guess what? That helps my channel grow and gets me more viewers, and I definitely appreciate all the love and support if you have, and if you haven't, please do that for me. Go watch all 4 episodes. Then come back and check out all my spoiler reviews, including this one. And I definitely want to hear your guys' opinions in the comments below on how do you feel about this show, each episode, and where do you think this season's going to go with this show and future Star Wars films. So definitely let me know in the comments below. So again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned. Let's get into it. This episode starts off in Kofar, where the Jedi Wookiee Kelnaka is in his place cooking, and we see the same style of a symbol we've seen with the witches, the two girls' his mother. And then we see another Jedi training a younger Jedi, including Jackie Lyon. And Osha is saying her goodbyes because she feels like everything she's done here, it's out of her control, out of her hand. And she's explaining that she doesn't have the heart to stop her sister. She don't think she has the ability to do that. And for the longest, she thought she was dead. So obviously, she doesn't want to be the one to take her out. And so she feels like she's going to let the Jedis do their thing. They will handle it. Right? And we get this heartwarming moment where it seems like these two kind of have feelings for each other. Or one or the other likes each other, have a crush, whatever it may be. And then it starts getting serious where May and Quinn are... Kumar, I should say, are looking for the Wookiee, while Saul is talking to the consuls, and of course, they decide to send everyone to hunt down May and Osha as well, because it seems like the consul of the High Republican knows how dangerous and how powerful they can be because of the Sith Lord, the darkness, powerful magic that what's in the Star Wars universe. So they're taking this very serious, and we get an interesting character that we may seen in Star Wars Episode 1, the prequel era, and that is the Star Wars character Kiada Moody. And of course, this is the younger version of him. And in the Phantom Menace, he said, like, hey, we haven't seen Sith Lords over X amount of thousands upon thousands of years, right? And here we are in episode 4, where it seems like he's going to be the one to influence everybody to cover this up so people don't know that the Sith Lords do exist, they're here, and they have a big plan, basically. And he's the one who's, trying to convince everybody how to handle Osha and May, of course. So it's very, I could see a lot of people are upset, but maybe this is I believe this is an information that they just wanted to do a retcon in the Star Wars universe. Maybe this whole time, they decided, hey, you know what? Let's change it up a little bit where he was lying in episode 1. Like, he knew it. Like, maybe this is like the idea of like a lot of Jedis are gonna be killed off, and maybe this whole season 1, the the Sith Lord of this show is going to be victorious. So they're kind of teasing that by putting this particular character in this episode and scene, and especially where, this is where all the Jedi councils get together and discuss what's the right way to handle a situation. And it's very interesting that they put him in there, and it's very interesting that they're gonna retcon this a little bit and change it up. So as far as how people are upset, I'm not upset. I think if they're going to do this, then I have to believe they have a good reason in other future Star Wars shows and films, and I think the payoff will make sense at some point. I think right now people are not looking at it, taking a step back, which is okay, because Star Wars fans are just passionate about this particular franchise. So as far as the hate goes with it, I'm staying out of that. I think just reviewing this episode and this show, I think again that there's a bigger payoff to this. And I believe that more people kept this a secret than you can imagine. Like, probably Yoda knew about this, and he tried to keep it as a secret too, because they're trying to, quote unquote, keep balance between good and evil, light and dark type scenario. So that's what I think about. Saul comes up with an idea to make a deal with Osha to kind of get her a part of this. Like, the idea was that they were going to force her to do it, but Saul was like, nah, let me just talk to her. If she does this, we'll do this. We'll give her something that she wants, and then he knows what she wants. And obviously that's her sister. And even though she's made it very clear that she doesn't have the heart to assassinate her sister, they all promise that they'll be the one to do that. And you know what's interesting about that is, too, within that episode, Yonder gives her advice, like, maybe this is a test or your destination to finally confront your issues, your fears with your sister, and find peace with it. Maybe this is the thing that you need to go through. So Yonder, you can easily say maybe he's the one who's hinting like, Ocean, maybe you're the one who should take out your sister, or you're going to be the one that's going to be the one that help Osha or May come back. I always get the two sisters mixed up. But Osha's going to be the one to convince May to come back to the good side, the hero side. Be heroic, right? Be the one to change of heart. And that's what he might be hinting to. So you can look at that in those two different ways, in a perspective view of why Yonder said that. Also in this episode, Osha's Jedi power is somewhat coming back, just being more active, because she sensed things like these giant bugs, and she knew it was coming, but she didn't trust it because she wasn't really sure. And it was just one of those things. And May has surprised us by turning on her master and Kumar, which I thought was very weird. Here's my only complaint about that, is I wish they explained it more in the scenes to build up, to show us why she's changing her mind and why the change of heart. She explained it after she tricked Kumar, and he fell in a classic booby trap, like in a cartoon way. He walks, his foot gets stuck in between the ropes, and he's hanging upside down. And it just seemed out of nowhere, and there was really no explanation in a full scene to see her change her mind and have a change of heart. And I think that should have been added in this episode, but that's my only complaint about that. But she did make it clear that she's loyal to her sister, and it seems like, again, it was a letdown, but it was. I was just hoping to see her succeed in the task of what she was giving as a Jedi Sith Lord, and I wanted to see her from that moment, you know, go the Jedi way. You know, maybe she gets to the Jedi Wookiee's house, and then at that moment she goes, "No, I can't do this." You know, but they did it differently because as she got in, the Wookiee was already killed, and then at the background you see May's master just show up, the Sith Lord, and he took out not take out, but knocked out everyone by the Force, just one Force. He pushed Osha out of the way like this, and what's crazy is, like, man, he didn't see him coming, but he was there the whole time. Now it's about who's under there. Could it be Coomer? I'm not really sure it was him. It could be him because maybe he's just playing dumb, like he's weak, but he's really the guy under there. Or it can be anybody. So, I also thought it could be a female. Like, if it's not a male, because it's not Yord, but it could be Yord. Because I swore I didn't see him in the scene where that Jedi or that Sith Lord uses the Force. I didn't see him, but he probably was in there. So I'm not gonna say Yoda is actually him, or Yord, I should say. But I thought this could be a female, and it could be that female that carried May and Osha from episode 3. That May had a love interest to their mother. I'm not sure on that either. But I thought, okay, so somebody's there and this person's there. So do they reveal it? Probably, or we just don't know who it is until the final episode. Or if they really want to succeed this, which who knows now with all the negative reviews, would they ever do a season 2? I'm not sure. But at this point, I don't really know who could be under there. It may not be the ones I just mentioned. It could be a complete different version. But it does have that Kylo Ren feel, so it just has to be somebody that is somewhat close to these particular Jedis. Someone close who knows May and Osha. Someone who knows Saul and the other Jedi. Somebody who just knows it. And let's talk about another topic. Let's talk about Saul. I think he's going to turn evil. I think he's going to turn Sith Lord. I think that just like Anakin, when you start caring about certain people and you have a close personal connection, and if one of them dies or gets killed in a tragic way, that's when the fear and darkness comes and turns into a Sith Lord in the sense. And he just needs the right person of a Sith Lord to do that. Like, example, could this be Palpatine? Could he be involved? Yes. I'm not saying he's the Sith Lord that we saw in this episode, but I'm saying that he could be pulling the strings because technically he's alive within this timeline. He's probably a little bit younger too. Palpatine's a little bit younger. Maybe he's in his 40s. I don't know. But he could be alive, and he could be the one to convince Saul to turn to the dark side. Like that could be his MO. Like, he was in the High Republican. He was in the meetings like Palpatine's. If you watch the prequels of the Star Wars films, but he was in there, so that's a possibility too. But if he was going to turn evil, Palpatine would be the one to influence him. Like, you got to think, like, how did he get so good to convince Anakin Skywalker to become Darth Vader, right? Well, he might need some little practice. And maybe Saul was his first successful one to do that, and then Anakin, was the best version of his hard work of turning him to the Sith Lord, aka Darth Vader. So that's a possibility to happen as well. Now, speaking of turning evil, let's talk about May. I think May has that same story like Anakin Skywalker, in a sense. Not completely, so everybody just calm down. Calm down. I think that she may turn Sith Lord. I think that she's been hurt. I think she's always thinking about all the time that she has failed as a Jedi. She thinks about her childhood memories and how it went down with her and her sister when they were little girls. And that could help her become a Sith Lord. Like, the way that Sith Lord, just easily with two fingers used the Force and pushed her to the side, she can be like, okay, why did this person did not kill me at this moment? Like, if you remember, like, the Kylo Ren, where he was having that heart-to-heart moment with Han Solo, his father, he turned on the lightsaber and stabbed him. Exact same thing, but he didn't stab Osha. So maybe Osha has more potential. Oh, I'm sorry. Osha, I meant Osha turning evil. I kept saying, see, I always get the sisters mixed up. So again, I think Osha may turn into a Sith Lord. That's what I'm saying. And just like I was saying earlier, the Sith Lord turned on his lightsaber and just pushed Osha away. And I think that's important to look at as a clue. Like, maybe Osha is the one I'm actually referring to, is the one that actually has the potential to become a Sith Lord. And I think that's one of the reasons why that Sith Lord pushed her to the side. That's what I think in theory. I just want to point out in this next topic that the one that I really enjoy seeing is this new character named Basil. I think he's like a beaver. Well, not a beaver, but some type of rodent that can, dig into the ground or dig out. And this creature just has a good nose. Like, he sniffed some stuff out and found it. And I laughed when May fell down and he's like, hey, I found her. That was just funny. Like, that's typical Star Wars comedy. But I really like that character, and I hope that I see more of that. And just boys giving baby Grogu some competition and cuteness. But I could be wrong. But really like that character. So if I had to give this episode 1 out of 10, I'm gonna definitely give it a 7. I really liked it. I give it a 7 because my only complaint for this was I wish they gave May and had more scenes with her to watch her have a change of heart. Watch her realize, like, I need to reunite with my sister. I need to do the right thing type feel. That heroic feel. That's why I'm giving a 7. But other than that, I did like it. I'm enjoying it so far for this season. And I definitely hope you like it. So, again, I'm giving it a 7, and that's my review. So, guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you haven't yet, and if you know anybody that's a fan of YouTube channel / podcast or reviews within Star Wars, Marvel, DC Comics, and much more, just have them share this stuff with them. And maybe they will subscribe and you'll subscribe to this YouTube channel if you're a first time listener. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace